Here at the Ministry Enclave in Accra, where the mood is visibly somber and filled with grief following the tragic news of the passing of the Sector Minister, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, in a helicopter crash. And that has also claimed the life, of the Minister for Defense, Edward Omane Buama, and others. Here at the ministry, staff members are still coming to terms with the news. Many of them, are still grieving. Others are in tears. We have been told earlier as they reflect on the life of the leadership of Dr. Mutala. There's a palpable sense of shock and sadness across the building, especially among those who worked closely with him. It's just really sad. Since assuming office earlier this year, we all know that Dr. Mutala had become a dynamic force in the ministry, bringing renewed energy and a clear vision for advancing Ghana's science innovation and environmental sustainability agenda. We also know that he championed initiatives aimed at promoting climate resilience, particularly in vulnerable northern communities, and was deeply committed to integrating science and technology into everyday governance. One of the most recent efforts was the launch of a national campaign on e-waste management, where he pushed stricter regulations and encouraged local innovations to turn e-waste into reusable products, I beg your pardon. But just like I was indicating, you can see quite a number of people here. We were speaking with one of the resource persons who doesn't really want to speak to us on camera, who made mention of the fact that once the news was announced, all of them were down in the dumps, still trying to come to terms with the fact that this tragic news was indeed true. As I am speaking to you, we have also been told that the minister's office is located on the 3rd floor of the building, where the HR has called for all of them to gather for some news to be released to them. We've also been told that some individuals who work directly with the minister have left the premises because they are still trying to comprehend with this rather unfortunate incident that has happened. And as tributes continue to pour in, from both locally and internationally, the ministry is expected to, probably open a book of condolence for late minister, probably coming soon. And we'll definitely continue to stay here and bring you the updates subsequently. But we'll try and move into the premises to get to know how most of these workers are trying to come to terms with the fact that this rather unfortunate incident had happened. Just like I are supposed to gather at the conference room, where they will be meeting with the HR for a brief meeting. We don't know what the meeting is going to be about, but hopefully it should be very brief. We'll try as much as we can to also get to his office to get to know exactly what the mood is over there. So Ishmael, if you can come with me into the premises, let's get to the 3rd floor and get to see who is there and what is currently also happening around. This is the reception part of the Environment Ministry. So we'll go in here, where we'll then head to the 3rd floor, where the minister's office is, to get to gauge the mood in there to know exactly what will be happening as well. As you know, the entire nation is in shock. So, struggling to come to terms with the fact that this rather pick the elevator, and we are heading towards the 3rd floor, where we'll get to see exactly
trying to make his way to the office area of the Environment, Science and Technology Minister. His connection will return to us shortly, because if you know the elevator quite well, reception is quite poor when you're in the elevator. But Godwin is back, and let's take you back to the ministry.
The fact that this rather unfortunate incident has happened to. But if you can just have a glimpse of exactly how the mood of the people are in there. Others are holding onto their chins, sadness drawn on the faces of individuals here at the ministry. And briefly, I'm sure the HR will get to engage them. And just as we are pitched come here to bring you details and live pictures on everything that is happening, you will get to know what the outcome will be or look like. But it's generally been a somber mood. Workers, the entire environment is in grief, is in sadness and sorrow, and the entire country is also reacting to this rather unfortunate incident that happened. They went into the premises to get to know exactly what conversation they will be having, but just like I was mentioning and also updating you, the HR is supposed to meet with the team, have a brief conversation on the incident. You might not know. This is very strong, knowing that one of the major leaders, has been called to glory in a very tragic way, which is just really devastating and shocking. Just a brief about Dr. Mutala. Like I was saying, we know that he spoke passionately about investing in research institutions and was instrumental in lobbying for increased funding for STEM education and green energy development. Many who worked under him described him as principled, hands-on, and genuinely interested in seeing Ghana thrive through science and innovation. His loss will undoubtedly leave a huge vacuum, not only to the ministry, but also within the broader science and environmental policy landscape. Just like I mentioned to you, the mood here is generally really sad, and people are still trying to come to terms with the fact that this rather unfortunate incident has happened to one of their major leaders, which happens to be the minister, Dr. Mutala. You can see that most of the workers here are, really sad. A lot of sadness drawn around their faces. We are just hoping that most of them wouldn't have tears rolling down their cheeks, but it's just really a very bad day for them here at the ministries, and we'll be leaving them shortly because we have been told that the HR will be having a short meeting with them, probably to officially inform them about the incident that has happened and subsequently update them with what they will be doing. We have been told that some officials have not been able to comprehend with a rather unfortunate incident that has befallen them, and they had to quickly leave the premises, which we can't understand and comprehend with. You're seeing people either holding to their chins, others having their hands wrapped around their chest. You can clearly see that woman there bowing her head. Clearly, really sad scenes happening here. So we will briefly leave them to have the meeting and also get to update the staff here. And we will be pitch camped outside to get to know what the meeting will be about and what the outcome will also be. So thank you so much for giving us your time, and we are really sorry to get to know that this has happened to you, and we are hoping that you will be able to overcome this as soon as possible. So yes, Mawena, that is the incident here, the meeting that is about to happen here at the ministries, and it's really sad.